Hi and welcome back. Today let's talk about money and the cost of shipping personal items over to Portugal. We live in California, just above San Francisco in a small town called Petaluma, and I'm getting a quote to ship some personal items over there, plus our mattresses and adjustable beds. So the quote that I got to move our furniture over that we want to keep, which is our dining room set, including the 6 chairs and the dining room table, but not the china cabinet itself. That's something we're still thinking about, as well as Tim's small trunk and 2 king-size sleep number adjustable beds. Both of them have the adjustable bed base on them, and we wanted to find out how much it would cost to ship the beds over. My husband and my daughter both love their beds a whole lot and would prefer to keep the adjustable bases if possible, and really like the sleep number because they can customize the firmness of their side of the bed. Anyways, the quote also includes 25 medium boxes. Now a medium box is only 18 by 18 by 16. So 25 medium boxes is not a lot. I wanted to jump back in here real quick, and since I just got off the phone with the mover person we're working with, and he said to me something that I hadn't thought about. Even though the boxes are only 18 by 18 by 16 for the medium boxes, he recommends that we use the vacuum seal bags so that we can consolidate a lot of the clothing in there, because it's based on size and not weight. So the boxes can be super heavy with all the clothing. If we vacuum seal everything in there, and we can fit more clothing in each box. That was an excellent idea. I hadn't thought about it, and I thought I'd include that as part of the video in case anyone else wasn't thinking about that. It would be in addition to anything we would bring over in our suitcases that we would check on the airplane. So hopefully most of our clothes would come over via suitcases, and we would just have other things that we want to keep to bring over there, but we would not bring over things like towels, kitchen items, probably not. We'd probably just buy new sets when we're over there, but more things that are keepsakes in those 25 boxes is what we're looking at. This is door-to-door service. So they would pick up the items here, we would load the boxes, they would load the boxes onto the transport and take it to the cargo holding area and then put that on the ship. The quote includes clearing customs, and then once it arrives in Portugal, door-to-door service to our residents in Portugal. So they would bring the items to wherever we were in Portugal. I asked for it to be quoted to Braga because I felt like that was the farthest inland that they would probably need to bring it, and I wanted to make sure the quote was regardless of where we end up, I felt like that was probably the farthest inland we'd probably go, and therefore would be the most expensive and kind of a base high point for us to determine how much it would cost us to ship our items over. So the quote I got was a little over $6,000. And again, this is door-to-door service. The quote is valid for 2 years, which is excellent. They actually fix the price for 2 years, which means when we move in May, hopefully of 2024, if I were to put a deposit down today and I were to move those exact numbers over, that quote would not increase regardless of any shipping cost or inflationary cost. So that's something that we're definitely looking at. I did have clarification on one question that I'm waiting to get an answer back from. And then I can kind of go from there to see if we want to go ahead and put the 10% down required to hold that quote in place for the 2-year time frame that it's valid for. I did also get a quote for the Tesla. We have a 2021 Tesla Model 3. We are considering bringing it over. Tim and I were looking at news articles and just information regarding Teslas in Portugal. We understand that the charging system is different over there, that there is an adapter though that can be used for charging the vehicle. We understand that it may be difficult to charge it at a supercharger over there. And we also understand that it may be difficult to have Tesla put the maps on for any navigation We know we can probably use Apple Maps or Google Maps instead of, but we probably would not be able to use the navigation feature in our Tesla currently if we were to bring the car over there. In addition to that, there are also problems with the autopilot that we have on there, that it may not recognize some of the streets and things of that nature is what we kind of heard or he was reading last night. So we have some more questions regarding whether or not it's really a good idea to bring over the Tesla. But on to that point, we bought the Tesla last year. And since we bought it, the Tesla has dropped in value significantly, unfortunately. So if we were to sell it today, we're probably looking at about a $10,000 loss from our purchase price. We did buy it used, we did buy it from a friend, and it was a fair price when we purchased it. However, now the prices just for used vehicles have gone down so much. So we're looking at a $10,000 loss immediately if we were to sell it. So it may be worth it to bring it over there if we can get it inexpensively enough shipped over there. I'm looking to several different companies that just ship the cars over there, and maybe taking it out of the port of Los Angeles, just driving it down there and having them drive it onto a ship and drive it off. And I'm also looking into the whole not paying VAT on it as long as it's been owned for over 6 months and we are on the title of the vehicle, and how it would work with the various modifications that would need to be made to the Tesla to make it compliant in Portugal, such as changing the taillights out to be amber and changing the speedometer so it says kilometers as opposed to miles. So those are just a few of the things that we're thinking about in regards to the Tesla. But we do have the cost estimate for moving the personal items over. So that is a plus to know that it's going to be about $6,000 to move those items over, and what that would look like. So we like the fact that it's not too expensive. The beds alone were about $5,000 each. Replacing them in Portugal, I don't know if they sell the adjustable bases over there or not. And we probably could get it definitely cheaper if we just wanted an inexpensive bed. But regardless of which, Tim wants obviously to bring his furniture over and for the beds, and he wants to bring all of his clothing over. So it shouldn't be too much of an issue fitting into those 25 medium-sized boxes, as long as we can put a lot of the clothing in the suitcases, maybe 2 to 3 per person check luggage, and then one carry-on. I think that will take most of our clothing over there. I'm hoping, at least, if we have large check-on baggage, but we'll have to see as we get closer how much he can actually fit. Tim actually has more clothing than I do, so we'll figure that out.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, let's go.